Yeah, just make sure all the lighting's right. We got to make sure. Is the audio okay?
You got to get off the ladder. That's not...
Get off. We don't have insurance for that.
What are you doing?
Jeez.
This is the craziest thing.
Dude, did you
Come on.
and they're recording it already.
Dude, this is the time.
Stop. It's gonna move.
Are you ready?
We're going to have to talk to you about this.
There
is no HR.
There is going to be a conversation.
You should see their faces. What's up?
Hello.
This is Dos.
This is number two.
Number two.
Yes,
not that kind of number two. But welcome back to the 312 coaching vlog.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
That's right. We're here for you with, this is Marcus Dilly.
Hello, my friends.
And I'm Jack Coleman.
That he is.
Since 1975. So, and we are here to talk to you today about the 10 things that buyers, not sellers, buyers are looking, they need to know in this market.
Top 10 mistakes, top 10 things they need to do, top 10 things we're seeing them do wrong. So I want to give you a little bit of education in this market that is now shifting, as we said last week, shifting into a buyer's market in some areas, right?
Still Charlotte's kind of, you're getting stuff, but Charlotte's always going to be a day late and a dollar short.
We are a bit of an anomaly in our area. So you always have to make sure you're checking with your local realtor expert.
Preferred.
To find out exactly what the haps are, but
haps, this guy. Hey, before we jump in, I just wanted to remind everybody, as we're filming this video, we're in the month of October, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So ladies, make sure you feel it on the 1st. Guys, help them if you need to. The bottom line is there's nothing more important than our mothers and our daughters and our wives and our world. And breast cancer, I think I just heard a statistic today that said 30% of all cancers in our country that are diagnosed with women are breast cancer. So shouldn't be here, but it still is. Needs your funding. My wife, who is a survivor, was actually on the news this morning. So we gotta
go
Rivka.
Sure,
yes.
Proud of you, girl.
We just need to make sure that you know what we know, and that is breast cancer is a real thing. We don't need awareness, we need treatment. So get out there, make sure that you're doing everything you can to support local breast cancer.
That's right.
Patients.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that very much.
That's not why we're here.
It's not why we're here today.
We're here to talk about the things that buyers, the mistakes buyers make, and the things they need to know. So
top 10.
10. Here's the first thing. So if you don't have this is probably, whether it's not the most important thing or not, without this, you are going to be rowing in a boat with no
It's
oars.
probably number one.
Yeah, because you can row with hands in a boat.
That's right.
But it's not going to get you very far.
You got to get a ticket if you want to get in the game.
That's
and
right.
This is your ticket to get in the game.
That's right. So funding. Funds. Down payment.
Number one.
And then here's the other thing. Earnest money. Due diligence or termination fee in the state of South Carolina now.
That's right.
Money for inspections and appraisals. So all these things are things that when you're looking at a house, it's an extra little bit of money that not everybody knows about, particularly if you're a first-time buyer.
That's right.
So Marcus, what is the average amount of money that you think someone should have put away?
Honestly, I think at least 5% of the purchase price should be what you put away. A lot of people, there's great programs out there for first-time home buyers, but I think 5% is really solid. Some people want to put down 20%. It depends on where you are. You got to really think big picture, right? About how long you're going to be in the house, how much equity you really want to have walk in versus how much you want, 20 years from now. Some of those are crystal ball questions, but they're things you have to think about. So moving on to number 2, and this is a big part of it, finding the right agent that will help you navigate through some of these waters, that'll give you the straight story on what is happening in the market, what you need, how to make sure that you are aligning yourself with the right service providers that will take care of you. It's all about the dream team, right?
That's right.
Making sure you have the right people in order to make this process and transaction as smooth as possible.
And as you're picking your agent out, make sure you talk about what his or her support system is. Because for a great thing for Marcus and I, we have our tribe of members. We don't do a team, we do a tribe. And the reason we do that is because when you hire one of us to help you find a house, you hire all of us.
You got a team.
Yeah. So it's not difficult for me to pick up the phone if I have something that's come up and say, hey, my buyer has to go see this house right now. I'm in another appointment. can you help?
I told my buyers that last night. I'm showing some great people some houses in the Waxhaw, Weddington area, and it's a beautiful part of the suburb of Charlotte. And looking at some homes, and I'm going to be at the beach this weekend with the family. And I said, you know what, I'm going to be heading to the beach with the in-laws, and we're going to have some family time. But I have people, so if we need something, if we need to see something quickly or something comes up, let us know. Because
he'll have your people.
Yeah.
Or his people call your people.
That's right.
We got this going on. So the other thing we got is picking the right lender. Now, this may not seem like that big a deal because at last count, there are a lot of people out there that are lending, but the right lender matters. And here's why, because the goal that you're trying to get to is all the conditions of your loan met and get to the closing table.
That's right.
You do not want the lender or the lender's processes holding you up.
Big part of the dream team.
So
is that lender,
you know, whether or not it is a local mortgage broker who can kind of send you out to a lot of different investors and lenders that's going to help you find the right loan, or it's one of the larger ones, you know, it's really up to you. But what I would say is, you know, get with your realtor has a ton of contacts.
Yeah, I like personal. I like it is a ton of quite a few. I like personal service. So you know, I'm not a big fan of the bigger banks for that very reason, and many others that we don't have time to go into now. But the lender knowing all of the programs and knowing how to make sure that whether you're a first-time home buyer or whether it's a vacation home or whatever the case may be, that they know how to help you get the maximum benefit out of whatever programs or whatever services they offer. Remember, they do not control the underwriters, right? So give them a break, because sometimes they can, you know, the underwriters can take it to task, and as well they should. And also the appraisers, there is a arm's length transaction with that deal now. So they can't, because of 2008, they can't have any, Dodd-Frank Act, look it up. They can't have anything to do with the appraisal, has to be a third party deal. Right. But the lender is a crucial part of the process. And if you don't have the right lender, it can really throw a monkey wrench
into a deal. And there's been deals where, you know, things get pushed back. And when you look at it, there's a reason why. So, you know, one of the next thing we'll talk about is being aware of potential for how long.
Well, this is one of these
stumbled over my words.
Well, no, it's so. This is one of those crystal ball questions. We kind of referred to this a minute ago.
Do you have a crystal ball?
I do. It's broken. Yeah, it's in the shop.
I have a Magic 8 ball.
Yeah, I'm getting it fixed. So, you know, if you're only going to be in a house for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, I know this is, again, a little bit of a mystery question because you don't really know. But if you have a pretty good, solid idea, you don't really want to put, in my opinion, a ton of money down on the house because you can have that money work for you elsewhere. You're not going to get it back, right? Especially in a market where it's becoming less and less of a seller's market. And we're not quite sure in 5, 10 years where we're going to be. We know that the market always bounces back. We know that there are cycles, but that time frame is anybody's guess. A lot of armchair quarterbacks talking about it now, right? And coming up with their own ideas as far as what they're going to see happen in the next 5 years. But if you're going to be in the house for 20 years and you know you're going to be in the house for, let's say, more than 15, it's okay, typically, depending on where you are in the cycle, to put more money down because you're going to be able to get a lot of that money back, and you have a lot less monthly payments, which can be more important to you depending on your financial goals as a whole. So just kind of having an idea of how long you're going to be in the house so you know how much money you want to put down and whether or not it makes sense to put down a little bit, the least amount, or a lot.
Absolutely. And again, just jumping on that again, you answer those questions, right? You have to be self-aware. The right realtor is going to sit down with you. We're going to go through those questions with you. We're going to ask those questions to help you along the way. So the next thing on the list is making an emotional decision.
See it all the time. See it all the time.
It's like on that Chris Farley, Tommy Boy. If I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000,000 times.
And the medic gets out and says, "Oh my God."
It's a great
Don't flood. You have to make sure that and this is why, again, having a good team around you is crucial. Having the right realtor, making sure that you are asking the right questions and they're helping you, especially, it's an emotional decision. It's an emotional process, right? When you walk in a house, you become overwhelmed, right? You can really be carried away with your emotions. So being able to pull that back and making sure that you're making cognitive decisions that are based on the best opportunity, the best outcome calm that you can have in that moment is key, because if you get carried away, you're ultimately going to make a decision that you're going to regret.
Absolutely. I call them fact-based decisions. And the other thing that a realtor is going to be able to help you do is in the negotiation process.
That's right.
Because a lot of times when your realtor is negotiating back and forth, we're going back and forth with you, finding out what your needs are. Sometimes I had just quick story time. I had a client recently that she was like, "This is the price for the house. Offer this," and it was like $5,000 less. So I asked my client. I said, "Is it the $5,000 that you're concerned about? Is it the payment you're concerned about, or do you just want to win?" Do you know what her answer was?
No clue.
I just want to win. So the right realtor is going to be able to tell you the win comes when you ink the deal.
Right. That's right.
Because you're winning in net worth.
Yes.
For years and years to come. So that's where that is.
So talking about that negotiation, I think we're about number 7 now. So we're wrapping up here, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. Hopefully this is helpful. A lot of people, they have this idea that negotiation is hardballing, right? That it's going in and forcing your way on someone so that you get what you want. True negotiation really should be a position where everyone walks away getting something out of the deal.
Win-win.
So you have to think of this, you have to put yourself in the seller's shoes. Think about this and negotiate with the end in mind. Put yourself in the seller's shoes. I know that may be a little counterintuitive, but it can be very helpful as you're putting yourself in that position to know how to negotiate to get what you need, but also to help the seller get what they need. At the end of the day, you guys, everyone walks away happy. You've got something, they've got something, and the deal gets done, most important.
Absolutely. That's the most critical thing. Hey, next thing is think big picture. So talk about, when you think about a big picture with your clients, what does that mean?
Well, it's easy. I think all of us, it's easy to get horse blinders, and in some cases that's the best thing you can do. But in this case, having that focus that's so small that you can't see that peripheral view sometimes can really cause you to make bad and major decisions. This is one of the biggest investments you'll ever make in your life. So things can't fall through the cracks. You can't make mistakes. You have to do this the right way, and thinking big picture, really looking at a global view, and having people to help you that are going to tell you the truth, right? That are not going to placate you, but that are going to tell you the truth. Sometimes I'll tell my clients, do you want honesty or brutal honesty? Because that's all I got. Because if I'm not telling them the truth, whether they like to hear it or not, I'm doing them a disservice.
And we have a fiduciary responsibility to you, the client. And what that means is we have to tell you what's in your best interest. Not that's what is our best interest. I know I just stumbled all over that. Edit that out. So
they will.
They're crack staff. So just make sure that you understand that the right realtor is not going to tell you what is in their best interest. They've always got to be working for you. And if you feel that they're not, that's a question that you have to
go with your gut. Yeah, your gut will tell you the truth. Maybe don't go with our guts.
That's big guts. That's a lot of guts.
A lot of guts.
So next thing on, not picking the right inspector.
See, this is such a big deal. And this again goes back to picking the right agent. A lot of it will go back to picking the right agent, because if you do pick the right agent and make sure that you interview agents, right? It's, your brother's, cousin that just got in real estate, God bless him, right?
We wish him much success.
We'll even help them succeed.
Absolutely.
If they plug into our model, our 312 coach model. But they may not be the right person to help you today.
So when I first got my license, you know how many inspectors I knew?
0.
I knew 0. None. Nada. So I had to depend on the tribe that was around me to make telephone calls, say, hey, who do I schedule?
That's right.
So that's important. But again, to your point, you're paying this inspector to find everything that's wrong with the house. Everything. From the little teeny tiny things to the foundation crack that's going to cost you $25,000 after inspection.
And, good inspectors kind of walk a fine line, right? Because they're not, roofing experts. They're not necessarily, crawl space experts. They're not plumbing experts. They know a little bit about a lot. So what they're going to say is, hey, there's an issue potentially here. You may want to hire an expert to go, look a little deeper into whatever this issue is. But they can also make or break a deal, right? Because you don't want the inspector to be justifying their job to such a degree that they kill the deal because they're freaking everyone out on stuff that really isn't that important.
Right.
At the same time, you want to make sure they're not missing major items. We had an incident recently where we closed on a property that was only about 1.5 years old. How are we doing on time?
We're good.
Okay.
Sorry, these watches keep you.
We closed on a property. This is about 1.5 years old, and it was a brand new house, right? And so the sellers, we talked about this in one of our pre-drywall inspection videos that we did. And so we had a seller that never got an inspection. It was a brand new home. And so why would they need an inspection? It got a CO, right? A certificate of occupancy, which is necessary and required for the house to close, which means someone had to inspect it.
Somebody had to look at it.
Someone that was not just, I assume, someone that fell off the turnip truck yesterday, but a professional inspector, right? That worked for the city, right? Or something, right? There was some kind of professionalism there, some qualifications that they met. So at any rate, we did our inspection on the property and found a broken truss in the attic. Now,
so you have to trust.
How many people had to, think about, so if the truss broke on the ground, then they had to actually install it, right? Think about how many people had to overlook it, the roofers,
And when we say overlook it, what we really mean is ignore it.
Ignore it, or it got broken when it was being installed, same thing, right?
That's right.
However, it closed and, it was under warranty, the builder fixed it, it was fine. But, these examples are unfortunately abundant. So having the right inspector is crucial.
Yeah, look at any Facebook, this all over social media. I have a lot of inspectors that as a realtor, you get a lot of friends that friend you because of their business.
Yeah.
And I saw one where there was something that was supposed to be connected to the drywall and the nails were just through the metal and you could see the nails in between the drywall and the 2x4. That's not, it's no bueno.
No bueno, my friend.
So closing attorneys.
Yes.
You got to pick a good closing attorney.
Again, back to the realtor. I think we're on 9 at this point. Yes, we're on number 9. So yes, closing attorney is crucial. Another dream team element, right? If you don't have the right team, you can't accomplish your goals.
That's right.
And this is not, it's great to win the tournament in a basketball game, but this is the biggest investment you'll ever make in your life. So having every piece of the puzzle put together is so important.
And they do so much. They do title searches. They make sure you can get title insurance. All the things that you are not thinking about, they're taking care of. And they're making sure they're balancing all the money so that way you pay the right amount when you come to the deal. So at the end of the day, the closing attorney is critical. Make sure, because in most contracts, you have to write down who that closing attorney is.
In the beginning. Yeah.
And the wrong realtor isn't going to be able to tell you who.
Well, make sure also you're walking through with your agent, you're walking through the HUD, the final disclosures.
Yep.
Because there can be mistakes. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So again, having people circling around and making sure, sometimes a part of our job, unfortunately, is doing other people's jobs. And that's just a part of the industry. But making sure and triple checking on these things are so important, especially with attorneys. And some of you watching this may be in a title state, right? There's some states out there that don't do closing attorneys like we do. They hold the earnest money, they do the title work. We use a great attorney here locally called Tracy Reynolds, who does actually both.
Plug.
Yeah, sorry, Tracy.
Are we check with the paperwork?
Can I do that? Is that okay?
Funding?
I did. Maybe we can cut that out. I don't know.
Cut it out.
She's amazing. I've been working with her for like 10 years, and she actually has a title company in-house. So they do everything in-house, which just makes it a little more convenient.
Yep. So that's super important. I think other than funding, this is probably one of the most important things, and it's probably the things that realtors fear the most, right?
Yes.
You got to be able to walk away.
So we are at number 10, and we actually have a bonus number 11 that we're going to throw your way, but let's go ahead with number 10.
You got to be able to walk away.
Any good negotiation says...
Never be afraid to walk away.
If you're buying a car,
you got to be. Go ahead.
Go. You're good.
Yeah, don't walk. Be willing to walk away.
You gotta be willing, and especially if you're buying a $300, $400, $500, $1 million house, you got to be able to walk away.
It doesn't matter how far along.
Even if every fiber of your being says, I have to have this house, you are now in that moment, if they know that, of a disadvantage in negotiation.
And that's
even if you're not really willing to walk away, you need to be acting as if you are, and ultimately really prepare yourself so if you do need to, you're able to.
Yeah, and that's not going to refund your money. Termination fees, due diligence fees.
Depends where you are. Yeah. As long as you're in your due diligence, you can get that back.
Generally, you may lose money that way, but at the end of the day,
consult with your realtor about those details.
Consult with your realtor, and let's make sure that we have some conversation. We just need to make sure that we have some conversation around this is why you are willing to walk away.
That's right.
So
that's right.
It's not always.
What does it look like?
Yep.
Yeah.
And here's what's going to happen.
Here's what you're risking. Yeah. But here's what you're gaining, etc. So, all right. Bonus. This is your number 11 bonus. one of the biggest problems we see is that people don't do their final walkthroughs.
So why is that important?
It's important because what happens if a pipe burst? What if someone broke in the house and decided to graffiti the thing and punch holes in the walls? You are purchasing the house in its condition.
You mean after I buy the house?
After you buy, yes,
the seller doesn't have any responsibility.
There's insurance, but that can be sticky in the middle of a closing. Where when did it happen? And was it, there's just a lot of stuff you got to worry about.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, not walking through your house. Let's not go.
Or they take something.
Yeah, let's not go that extreme. Yeah, so that's the not extreme, but hey, we asked them to fix this, and then you go to the final walkthrough the day before your closing, and said item didn't get fixed. Guess what you can do at that point? What can you do?
Well, you can not close.
Because that's the
only time you have the leverage at that point, which circles back to actually doing another inspection. If you have asked for repairs, maybe this is a 11.8 or something. So if you have done final repairs, make sure that if you've gotten negotiations to the repairs that you do the pre-inspection or post-inspection to make sure that that is actually taken care of. But let's say that there's a fixture. Fixture is anything that's attached. The fixture is anything that will do damage to the wall if you remove it. Anything.
Can you give an example? TV. Rack.
TV mounts. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. Rack. Yep. The microwave.
A door.
Absolutely. The blinds.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that would be considered a fixture that is supposed to convey with the house as a part of the contract. You walk through the house, you find out they've taken everything. They took the stove, they took the microwave, they took the
the bathtub.
The toilet's gone.
Who takes a toilet?
What are you gonna do?
It's like, darn you, tiny toilet! That just popped in my head. If you haven't seen Minions, Despicable Me,
my kids have seen every single one.
Movies.
They love
so
those
many
movies.
times. Yeah.
Big fans.
So, I love
Steve Carell is quite a talent.
He is quite the actor.
That's right.
He's doing something very, very big.
He does a very, very good job.
You'll be very, very proud.
Hey, you do the Matthew McConaughey.
I did McConaughey.
You do Gru. Who else you got?
When I was a kid, I used to do a mean Ronald Reagan, but it was before, I got a little bit more bass.
Gotcha.
Ronald Reagan, for those of you who are watching, he was a president in the 80s.
Yeah. Very popular president as well.
All his white hair, man.
Yeah. Can you do it for us real quick? Wrap us up with the Ronald Reagan.
I don't know. It's been a while, but Nancy, I have to tell you, this is just the way it's going to be, Mr. Gorbachev. So that's probably pretty weak. But
no, that was good. I'm going to give that an 8.3.
Maybe what we need to do is we need to do something. I'll do an impression, at least one impression or voice impression.
Yeah.
I've got a good Russian accent. Please, Russian people, don't be offended.
Yeah.
I've got a weak Irish
Somebody's
accent.
going to get offended, I'm sure.
You know what?
What are you going to do these days, right?
What are you going to do?
We love you. We're not trying to offend you.
Yeah, but in any event, look, give us a call. He's Marcus. I'm Jack.
That I am.
At the end of the day, our job is to make sure that we get you either in your next home, well, one way or the other. Let's sell your house. Let's buy a house. Or we can do both.
Yeah, we can. Investments, we can cover it. So we like each other. We love hanging out. So we figured we wanted to do this, have some fun, but also bring some information and guidance to you in this process because it can be pretty tricky. I've been calling it edutainment lately. So, you take it as you want, but that's what we're trying to do. That's our goal, and we hope today was helpful for you guys.
And if it wasn't, let us know. If it was, let us know. Whatever you do, press that red button.
Subscribe.
Smash
it. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and we appreciate you guys watching.
Hey, bye.
Bye.